Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. And I'm looking at an article from Match.com, which was republished on MSN.com. Several of you sent this in to me. It's a chat that the interviewer had with a woman named Rachel Greenwald. She is the best-selling author of a book called, get this, Find a Husband After 35, Using What I Learned at Harvard Business School. I guess you have to use marketing and promotion. Yes. The columnist, and I do not see the name of the columnist, so I guess it's one of these people whose name was stripped out, but the columnist asked a bunch of questions of Ms. Greenwald. And you might find this conversation fascinating. Because, as you know, my belief is when you've hit age 35, you have surpassed your expiration date. Your odds for getting married are dropping by the day. Because anybody worth having can afford somebody younger and hotter than you. So here's this little exchange between MSN or Match.com and Rachel Greenwald. Question. What is the most important change in the dating world in the past 15 or 20 years? Says the interviewer from Match.com. Rachel Greenwald responds to Match.com by saying, undeniably, the most important change has been the electronic aspect of dating. Specifically online dating and also email exchanges where friends introduce friends and network through email. So for those of you who are a little rusty on the computer, you will definitely want to get a tech-savvy friend or relative to get you up to speed. And understand that even if you don't like it or you feel uncomfortable with it, the Internet is here to stay and is absolutely part of the fabric of dating today. By the way, I love that phrase, online dating. As if dating is something you can do online. Now, I think that if you could do it online, that's what I would do. Because think about this. You save money on parking, dry cleaning, dinner, alcohol. I mean, if you could date online, here's what you do. You get to know somebody online. Sit at home in your boxer shorts, you know, boozing. Well, you get some porn playing on another window on your screen. While some desperate broad who's over 35 is sending you messages and you're giving the requisite responses. And then you don't have to actually go see her until she's ready to have sex with you. This is one of the things I find fascinating, by the way, about the whole online dating world. When you meet somebody online, generally people are using that meeting online to set up an in-person meeting, which results in a man having to, drive his car at $4 a gallon and figure out a restaurant and figure out, I don't know what, get his pants pressed, have to, prepare to sit there and have idle chit-chat with somebody you've just met and it all sounds forced. It'd be better if there really was something called online dating that really was online dating, where you ask those boring questions of somebody and you sit there and you answer a list of questions until they feel that they know enough to actually have sex with you. Then you get together. I did have that one woman I always love to talk about who, on her third date with me, just as we were about to go out, she said, "You don't really believe this 3-date rule, do you?" I said, yes, I do. And she said, so you're telling me if I don't have sex with you tonight, that I'll never see you again? That's correct. And she said, what if I don't know you well enough? And I told her, if you don't know me well enough, instead of going out tonight, let's cancel tonight's date. And you can write me with a list of questions that I will respond to in writing. I will tell you anything you want to know. And you know what? There'll be no pressure on you to have sex with me. You can take all the time you need. Write to me once a day if you like. More questions, more answers. Take months. Send instant messages. Chat with me online. Whatever. Ask away until you feel confident you know enough. And then have sex with me. But why should I keep going out with you, wasting valuable evenings I could be having sex with somebody else, having you think that you're reeling me in on some monogamous relationship that you're not going to reel me in on? I mean, if it really is a matter that you don't know me well enough, you should simply write me. I'll be very open and honest. I'll respond to every inquiry. Because you know what's really going on there? You either have a woman who's trying to suck down as many free meals and as much free booze as she can get, or you have somebody who's an attention whore who just wants to see how many times she can get you to go out with her, or you have a woman who is not attracted to you, and she thinks if she goes out with you enough times that there'll be a spark of some kind. All of those cases, men, you're just wasting your time. But there's more about that coming up in this little piece here from Match.com. Rachel Greenwald, who calls herself a dating coach, and the author of a book called Find a Husband After 35. Here's another question for Rachel. I have a feeling that I come across as too needy when I'm just trying to be friendly and inclusive. Am I better off playing hard to get? Rachel responds, men and women can smell desperation a mile away. And if you ever receive feedback that you appear too needy, or if you sense it in yourself, then you absolutely need to tone it down. Ask friends or dates, if you have communication with them later, what specifically you did that appeared needy. Maybe something easy to change, such as too much talk about being lonely and needing a father for your children. But whatever your behavior or communication that projects a needy image may be, it needs to stop because it's a huge turnoff. No doubt about that. Now, this question I find fascinating. Is there really a difference, Rachel, between dating at age 28 and dating at age 38? Or is it all just a state of mind? Rachel says, I think that dating at age 28 can be more leisurely. You have a bit longer to get to know somebody before deciding the relationship is or is not right. If you're a woman who wants to have children, you're still in a place where time is your friend. By age 38, however, well, time definitely isn't your friend then, is it? By age 38, however, you need to be more efficient in dating, both by increasing your efforts to meet more people and decreasing the time you're willing to spend with someone before deciding if this is the one. See, I talk about efficiency all the time. 3 strikes, you're out. In a way, we're kind of saying the same thing, you would think. Next question. I'm at a loss. Other than the bars. That's like people used to call that sitcom on TV, The Friends. Like Larry King when he would talk about that show. My guests are the stars of The Friends. You know, The Friends on NBC. Yeah. The bars. Where can I meet men in their 40s? Rachel responds by saying, this is a great question. The reason it's great is because it's the wrong question. Everyone assumes that it's difficult to meet men because they don't know where to look. But after 35, there is no where, there is only how. You have to use several different strategies. For example, she says to Match.com, online dating. Did she get paid for this? Also asking friends and relatives to fix you up. Speed dating, matchmaking, going to join new clubs and groups that interest you. Boy, anybody who follows these instructions is definitely desperate. It's my comment. Just have that stink of death on you. By the way, if you want to see a group of people who have the stink of death on them, JDate. That's the dating service for Jews only. Yeah. I have never seen... Boy, I'll tell you what. You know, I hate stereotyping more than anybody. I'm really opposed to stereotyping groups of people. But if you ever wanted to see the worst examples of stereotyping, take a look at the actual people who signed up for JDate. JDate.com. Take a look at them. Thousands of men whose first name is Doctor, their last name is Esquire. All of whom are getting up into their late 30s and early 40s, and clearly mom is pushing the son to give her grandchildren. And thousands more women in their 20s who want to meet doctors and lawyers. And who are willing to do anything, including sucking a basketball through a garden hose to get one. Just amazing. In fact, Dean and I played a little game with JDate here. We created a fake profile and put it on JDate. Don't bother looking for it. You'll never figure out which one it is, because it's so much like so many of the others. Yes, I told Dean to say he's a professional person, makes six-figure income. That he goes to synagogue on high holidays. That he's tired of the bar scene. That he's looking to settle down with a nice girl and have a family. That what he wants most in life is to be with a woman who'll tell him how to dress and what to do. Then we took a picture of a real Jew. In this case, because you got to wonder how many people are going to recognize him, right? We took a picture of Jeremy Piven, you know, from the TV show Entourage. We took a picture of him, and he is a Jew. We put his picture in there, and then we claimed it was the person who put... we claimed it was the person who had placed the profile on there. And in less than 2 weeks... Now, you always hear how, like, when women place personal ads, they get thousands of responses, and when men place personal ads, they get one or two or none. Dean's fake profile got over 130 responses in less than 2 weeks from desperate Jewesses who are looking to settle down with a guy who looks like Jeremy Piven, who wants nothing more than to be pussy whipped. And said it right in the profile. Didn't matter. Nobody smelled a rat or a pig. They simply responded. Dean doesn't want to ante up the $39.99 a month to find out what the girls are saying. So we just have to, like, look at, like, you get a little piece of each email and a photograph. Although a number of these girls don't post photographs. Just says, ask me for my photo. Oh, boy, that's bad. Love that online dating. Maybe that Rachel Greenwald is one of the people who responded to you, Dean. She'd like to go out with a guy who looks like Jeremy Piven. Oh, baby. Love that stuff. Anyway, yes. Online dating, asking friends and relatives to fix you up. Speed dating, matchmaking, going to join new clubs and groups that interest you. The person asking the questions asks, what does a single 37-year-old woman who still wants a child do? Are women like me in a hopeless situation? Oh, come on, dear. I don't care what Rachel says. You're done. Done. You are reduced to putting little pinholes in the condoms, darling, because there's no man's going to volunteer for that gig. I mean, honestly, any man worth having is going to impregnate a 27-year-old or an 18-year-old, but not you. Of course, Rachel says, women like you are absolutely not in a hopeless situation. You're in a very common situation. I suggest you see your 37th birthday as a wake-up call to mistakes you may have made in the past, such as working too many hours and sacrificing your dating life or spending too long with the wrong man. Consider those mistakes the jumper cables for jump-starting your dating life. God damn, it just sounds desperate. Finally, and I could go on and on because this does go on and on, but finally, I want to read this one. One last question. Excuse me while I flip the page here. Finally, one of the questions here says, is it really bad for a woman to have sexual relations with a man when they've only gone out a couple of times? They should have asked Tom Leykis this question, but they didn't. They asked Rachel Greenwald, and Rachel's response was, absolutely! This is my big pet peeve! Here is my proven date-sex rule. Date/sex rule. You have to make a minimum of 2 dates per week, regularly, for 2 months. Minimum 16 dates total before having sex with a man. You must pace your relationship and let it build steadily. If you rush into intense physical relationships too soon, they usually crash and burn. This rule may seem excruciatingly old-fashioned, but it ensures that your relationship is reasonably stable, or that you're with a homosexual. I threw that in. Because you have seen each other regularly over a substantial period of time. Also, it encourages him to look at you as a possible wife and not a one-night stand. If he's looking for casual sex, this date-sex rule will screen him out, and that's good news for you. Yes, so you'll be left with the nice guys who have no game, who have no ability in bed. It'll eliminate all the bad boys and everybody you get turned on by, girls. It will leave you with Irwin the accountant. That's what it's going to leave you with. That's what it's going to leave you. It's going to leave you with Poindexter from the IT department. That's who it's going to leave you with. That's right. Are you kidding me? 16 dates? Not only would I not have 16 dates with a woman, but in those rare instances when I broke my own rule and went past 3 dates, when I went to 4 or 5 or 6 dates, by the time they were getting ready to, like, sidle up to me and get close and, you know, start their smooching, I was done. I was so not interested anymore. I had lost all interest. I literally had lost all interest. There was no sense of urgency. There was no passion. There was no chemistry. There was nothing. She could have taken her clothes off and sat on me and ridden me like a pony, and I would be sitting there looking at my watch. I had no further interest. And I have warned women, don't try this with me. Don't try pushing that. Because if you do, you're going to get something worse than me simply forgetting to call you back. You will have turned me from somebody who's hot for you to somebody who couldn't care less. And I know I'm not the only guy who feels that way. So here you go, Rachel Greenwald on her book on how to find a husband after age 35. It's a lot harder than Rachel says, I think. Because after 35, you are over the hill, girls.
1-800-5800-TOM.
Really?
1-800-5800-866.
Now, let's say you were making the same amount of money you're making now when you were back 25 years old.
Oh, are you kidding me? I'd have had more poon. I'd have been banging 4 chicks a day. I'd be dead.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. At 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Chris. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tom. How are you, sir?
Doing great, Chris.
I have to say, online dating or Match.com, it is an awesome, awesome forum. It makes my job so much easier.
Tell us what.
Reason being, I am very matter-of-fact on my profile. I lay it out how it is. If you're not hot, you better say so. I will blow you out the door in 2 seconds. Very, very matter-of-fact. And I put up cut to the chase. After a while, I have girls sending me nude pictures of themselves within a couple, maybe 3 or 4 emails.
Really?
I kid you not, my friend. I could prove what I'm saying. And they're good-looking girls. They're not these silly cows that are looking for commitment.
By the way, have you noticed? It's not just Match.com. It's all these services.
Yeah.
The cows who have kids, who've had maybe a husband or two, they're the most demanding. I want somebody who won't play any head game. Somebody who is willing to be honest. Somebody who will be willing to let me do whatever I want, but will tell me where he is at all times.
It's amazing. It's like, I'm not going to take over that payment, and 90% of the guys out there aren't either.
Right.
If they have a choice, they're not going to. But I will say, I invite them over to the house. We don't go to dinner. I knock them in the head with a big, tall cocktail, so to speak.
Yeah.
And if we make it out of the house, I'd be surprised. There's only been a couple times we left the house, maybe gone to a local a club or something like that. But that is it. It is a one-call close. My closing ratio is through the friggin' roof.
Look at that.
And they're good-looking girls. I'm not gonna lie to you. The reason I'm on with you right now is because I bet you 90% of these girls aren't listening to the show, so I'm willing to take that risk. And
what happens after you nail them? Do you keep rotating them in the rotation, or do you rotate them out?
Depending, I mean, I whittle them down to these girls. Now they're on I'd say, hey, I just want to have fun. If you want to have fun, we can get together, have fun, and that's it. I have 4 girls that are just ready to go, when it's convenient. I want to see you tonight. We can get together. We know what we're there for. We're not going to go out and have dinner and drinks.
And most of them seem to be obsessive as well, because when you're dating them, I see these chicks who are on there, who are constantly on there. It always says online within the last 24 hours.
Exactly.
So even after they're dating you, they continue going to Match.com or Yahoo Personals or JDate. They continue getting on there.
Yeah.
And so while they're with you, trying to get you to commit to them, they continue trying to date other guys.
Exactly. And I'm very matter of fact to say, I'm not here for a relationship. I'm here for a good time. I'm not here for a long time.
And what percentage of them blow you off, and what percentage just stay on for the ride?
I would have to say, I'm not going to pat myself on the back, but the ones I can really, to use a technical term, drill down on, so to speak, marketing term, I'm going to say after the ones I do go out with, I will say out of probably 12 that I've gone out with, I've closed 11 of them.
Really?
I'm not kidding you, and I can.
So these women will do anything in order to feel like they have a relationship coming.
I would think so, because I'm a pretty successful guy. I'm a $270,000 guy a year, and tall and in shape. So sorry, all that good stuff. And at any rate, yeah, it's amazing what people will do, what kind of punch they'll take for a relationship.
Unbelievable.
Tom Leykis. 800 Tom.
There are 3 groups you can get away with making fun of. The deaf, because they're not listening anyway. Those who are mentally retarded, how the hell are they going to organize a group? And thirdly, people with Alzheimer's. Because even if they object to the content of the program, they will forget to show up at the protest. Those are the 3 groups we attack regularly.
This is the Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show. It's Tim. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Tom?
Not much, Tim.
Hey, I just wanted to let you know I am 43 years old. I have a 27-year-old live-in girlfriend. Just divorced a woman 46, 3 years older than me. My business doubled last year. I own my own company. And she's really cute. She's 27, a lot of potential. So I even helped her buy a little used BMW, Tom, because she's so sweet. But
don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
Yeah, but she went in half. She was working it off. But, there's no way in hell.
You're not engaged to her, though, are you?
What, buddy?
You told Dean something you conveniently forgot to tell me. You're engaged to her.
Yes,
So you're going to make the same mistake again.
Oh, don't tell me that, because I thought 27 I had time to groom her.
No. the point is that, first of all, the sound of your voice, you'll never get a prenup.
Okay, you're right.
And that means you're going to endanger that business you own.
Okay.
Aren't you?
Well, okay. I didn't know the hair on my neck would stand up actually hearing someone say that out loud.
Well, think about it.
Oh, well, but she's hot, Tom.
I don't care.
Yeah, I understand.
Without your money, you won't get any more hot chicks. If things don't work out, she'll take your money. Then you'll be 47 and have no money and no hot chick.
No, that's not a good prognosis, Dr. Leykis.
Tim?
Yes, sir.
That's what's likely to happen.
We'll end up getting together. A year or two later, she might get pregnant, and then I'm on the hook for a kid.
Not even then. All she has to do is be with you a couple of years, divorce you, and then take vagina money. Also, take community property in California.
Oh.
And if you commingle any funds, for example, if you ever use I said, if you ever do.
Yeah.
If you ever do, she could end up owning a piece of your business, too.
No, I'm on all the checking accounts and everything.
That doesn't mean anything.
Really?
Really. But far be it from you to consult with an attorney before doing something like this.
No, I wouldn't have that much forethought. Of course, that would be...
Clearly, you wouldn't.
No.
So you're going to be one of those callers I'm going to hear from in a couple of years. You've heard them on the show, a parade of them. You're going to be one of those.
With a war story?
Yeah.
No.
She'll be off air with your money and the pool boy.
Well, or the gardener.
Whoever.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, it was really hard because I've been resistant to it because I work in the video industry in San Fernando Valley. And it's just to me it's like if it didn't work out, there was always another one.
To you, but you see, that's if you don't move in with them.
Moving in is the first mistake?
First mistake.
Oh.
Then getting engaged, second mistake. No prenup, strike 3.
So I've got time to get a prenup. I'm not married.
You're out! But you already asked her to marry you. Without ever discussing a prenup.
Right. Yeah, actually, we actually did discuss it a long time ago. It was all...
And she said no.
Well, no, it was no big deal and everything, and when it came time, I brought it up about 4 months ago.
When she knew she was in a lot more stable position with you.
Right, it was an issue then.
Ah, that's my point. You see, you had your negotiating window of opportunity, and you blew it.
Oh, man.
And now if you try to bring it up, what do you think she's going to say? Now that she lives in your house, has your engagement ring?
Pick one of a million. You don't trust me. You don't love me.
Right.
You don't want it to work out.
Right.
Right. She'll give me one of you're projecting negativity, feminine.
She's already done it.
Oh, man. I'm not married yet.
Well, then you have to be prepared for the fallout. You have to tell her I'm not getting married without a prenup.
Right.
So we have to get this prenup done, and if she says no, you have to be prepared to leave.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, there's an older woman who does agree with your way of thinking, who has already kind of told me I'm a little crazy, and that's my mom.
Uh-huh. Okay, now I met you 4 minutes and 41 seconds ago,
right.
And I'm telling you the same thing your mother is telling you.
Right.
Does that give you a hint?
Yeah, two people totally disassociated saying the same thing.
Right.
I got something to do.
Yeah, you got a few things to do. Let me get WC on here. Hey, WC, what do you want to say to Tim?
Father, my Leykis brother's died a slow death over there. Dude, get your balls back. Dump that bitch. You can't give up like that. No. If they get mad, they'll only like you better because you told the truth and you were a man about it. I learned the hard way. Tom has been working on me for like 10 years or so. Tom, you saved my life many times. I'm trying to help this guy. He can't do it.
You've done it before? You had to have the talk?
I came very close to moving in with somebody. I would listen to these, oh, that's so negative, that's so this, that's so that.
Right.
The moment I applied Leykis 101 and said, hey, you know what, I'm the man here, and this is how it's going to be. You're not moving in my place. You're not telling me what kind of car I could buy. Tom, I'm one of your black sons. I got a Cadillac. She didn't want me to get it. And I said, no, this is my freaking car. And you know what? She couldn't wait to ride in it as soon as I drove up in it. So,
Of course she couldn't. She was just testing you. She was testing you.
Right, and the moment you man up, and if you lose her, there's a 23-year-old, a 21-year-old who do whatever you say because she wants a real man. Tom, you saved my life, buddy. If you can blow me up, I'd love you forever.
Here you go, WC. Let me get Laura on here. Laura has something to say to Tim. Hey, Laura, what's up?
That caller's an idiot. He needs remedial Leykis, not Leykis 101.
Yeah, maybe he's
Really?
left behind. Absolutely.
Even I
correspondence
know.
course?
She's just going to take his money.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're all pretty much cut from the same cloth.
I mean, do you really think a 27-year-old wants to date a 43-year-old?
Apparently she does.
If you had no money, would she want to date you?
Yeah, actually, she was. I've known her for about 6 years, and
she knew that you had. She thought you had no money, no car.
she thought she
no
didn't
house.
No, actually, to tell you the truth, she didn't realize how much I made. She even has said before, I didn't realize you did that well.
And you also told her how much you make.
No, she found out.
How'd she find out?
Context clues.
Because my office at home has all my 1099 and all my stuff.
So she's going through your stuff, too.
To
I
find
looked at
out how
laying
much
out.
you make.
Right.
Oh, man. Now I don't know what... I think it's a bad time to quit drinking, Tom.
I think it's time to DTB,
You better
Tim.
start.
I know. Well, I don't... What from a woman's point of view, what should I say? How would I do it?
Well, if you really want to marry her, because if a woman loves you, then a prenup is no big deal.
Right.
You're only concerned about a prenup if you think it's going to fail and you're not going to get any money.
Right. So that's it. I just got to have the talk before we actually
Before you ever make a date to get married.
Well, there is no definitive date.
Before you ever hire a wedding cake maker or a catering hall or a church, before you send out a save the date invitation, you've done all that, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
Not yet. I would tell you.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Before you do any of that.
Yeah, I have not done any of that.
Meaning now.
So that means I got to go in and say, hey.
You got to be a man, for Christ's sake. All right, I've got about 3 minutes left here. Let me get Stephanie in. Now, Stephanie, you have a whole other issue to talk about, and I've got very little time, so I need you to get to the point.
Okay, great, because I'm very, very limited with time. I have a deadline of tomorrow, and basically to cut it short, I'm kind of in this situation where I'm pregnant, and it's an unwanted pregnancy, and it's by a man that is not my husband. It was unexpected. We did use protected sex.
So you are married?
I currently, but separated.
All right.
I've been separated since this all happened, so this is something different. I got separated first, and then I got together with somebody else, and then, with this guy, I had used protected sex. I did everything. I mean, I've listened to your show. I've followed your advice. I didn't even want to get into another relationship. This was just kind of like, whatever just happened. The condom ended up slipping, and it fell inside, and I even had I don't mean to be so gruesome, but, and I did the proper procedures. I went 2 days later, the next soonest appointment that I could get in there. I took a pregnancy test. I took my regular pap smears, and everything came out normal. Everything was fine.
All right, we're running out of time. The key word in what you said is unwanted.
Unwanted, yes. Well,
If it's unwanted, do not give birth to an unwanted child.
even if the father, which is not my husband, the biological father, even though he definitely wants it.
Not your problem. You are not a landlord. You do not want an unwanted squatter. Get rid of that unwanted child.
The Tom Leykis Show.